They say home is where you feel safest. But what if your home is the very place being watched? These are three terrifying true home security camera horror stories, events captured on film that left their owners haunted forever. Lauren had been living alone for almost a year. It was her first real home, a modest suburban house, just big enough for one person. It was quiet, safe, or so she thought. Her security system had been acting up. Motion alerts would trigger in the middle of the night, but every time she checked the footage, there was nothing there. She assumed it was a glitch, until one night she woke up to a sound, a scraping noise, slow, deliberate, coming from inside the walls. Heart pounding, she checked the security app on her phone. This time there was movement, a shadowy figure, just barely visible, crawling out of the air vent in the hallway. She stared in horror as the figure pulled itself out, hunched and unnatural. And then it turned its head towards the camera, and it smiled. Lauren ran. She locked herself in the bathroom and dialed 911, barely able to breathe. When the police arrived, they found the vent pried open, and inside, a makeshift bedding area, food wrappers, and a rusty knife. Someone had been living in her walls for months. But here's the worst part. When they checked the security footage again, the last frame showed the crawlspace door just slightly ajar, and a single bloodshot eye staring out. The intruder was never caught. That's enough for the first story. Let's move to the next one. Ben worked the night shift. He lived in a small apartment complex, nothing fancy, but it had a good security system, cameras at every entrance. One night, he got an alert while at work. Motion detected outside his front door. He pulled up the live feed. A man stood there, not moving, just staring at the camera. At first, Ben assumed it was a neighbor, but then he noticed the man's face. He was smiling. A wide, unnatural grin stretched ear to ear, eyes bulging, unblinking. And he didn't move. Not for minutes. Not for hours. Ben called his landlord, who checked the camera feed too. When he went outside, the man was gone. Relieved, Ben finished his shift and went home. But when he reviewed the footage, the man had never left. He had crawled under Ben's car. Ben searched frantically. Nothing. But when he turned to go inside, a sound made him freeze, a low chuckle. He ran inside and locked the doors. The police were called, but by the time they arrived, the cameras had picked up nothing, no footprints, no evidence. But the next night, the camera caught something new, Ben's bedroom window, and that same grinning face. Maria was a single mother, living with her 2-year-old son in a quiet house at the edge of town. She had installed security cameras for peace of mind, watching over the backyard, the front porch, and her son's nursery. One evening, she was washing dishes when she heard a noise on the baby monitor. A whisper. She grabbed her phone and checked the nursery camera. Her son was asleep. But in the corner of the room, just beyond the crib, something moved. A shadow. She bolted upstairs, heart hammering. But when she flung open the door, nothing. The window was locked. The room was empty. Shaken, she rewound the footage, and that's when she saw it. At exactly 3:14 a.m., the camera glitched, and for a split second, a figure appeared, tall, gaunt, bent at an impossible angle, whispering something directly into her baby's ear. She never found out what it said. The next morning, she moved out. But before she left, she checked the footage one last time, and in the final frame, just before the screen cut to black, the figure turned to the camera, and it waved. Some things should never be caught on camera, because once you see them, they see you too. Please don't forget to hit like button and subscribe if you enjoyed with me.